Hello learners, welcome to Triaright. Today we will be performing some of the tasks as converting following lambda to method references. We are converting here the lambda to the following method references. So here we have a function as string, function which has generate type as string and integer, which has generate type as string and integer, and this is a reference function q1 means this is directly here we are expressing this as method references. This lambda will be directly converted to method references. So s is here we are converting this s as a lambda expression to the integer values of s or the integer value of s. So coming here we have the function which has generate type as string integer, and the function is directly function has a reference function. This integer values are there the this is reference to the this integer is directly referring to the value of is directly referring to the value of if the value of the following integers will be present there, this will directly give to this integer value. Now what does lambda do? What does this lambda does here? So s is a string output. Say here we have seen that string s is a string output. Here s is a string output. The lambda phases are s to a static method. This is a lambda phase. This is a lambda. This lambda passes to a static method. That's the integer dot value of, and similarly the value of integer will be directly printed here. So this lambda, this directly this lambda expression. We are giving the integer value we are giving the integer value of this s to this s. We are having the integer. We are converting the integer value. We are converting the integer value of this string, and actually passing that value to this s. Yeah, the method returns the integer number object. Yeah, so this method is actually returning an integer object. So coming further, we have function which has direct type as string and integer. We can replace it with method references. We are giving the value as string input, and we are getting the finally value of integer output. So we can replace this with method references as we have seen earlier. So the method big reference matches the expected function interface method signature. So we can see that the method which we passed directly the system out will directly matches to the integer value as being given out. So coming further, we have the function whose generic type is string and integer. It expects a method with this signature integer and apply string. Here the string will be applied, and similarly we will be getting an output for the integer value. So integer dot value of, so integer dot value is a static method. That is a static method which we are using here. We are using here for getting the final output for the value of a string. For the string value that we are passing, we are getting a final output as an integer value. So we can simplify it to the integer. This value is directly integer value is directly referring to the integer. This integer is directly referring to the value of is the value of whatever the things that we are providing here. That will be directly converted to integer value. That will be directly converted to the integer value, and that value will be given to this integer. Because use of this because it says use the value. This was saying the value of, as I told you. This is saying that use the value of method from the integer class and pass the lambda argument directly to it for converting the value. Now for coming to the final code, we have to import this class. Import java.util.function.function. We have to import this class java.util.function.function. Here the function will be in capital letter. Final function will be in capital letter. Now we have the class method reference example. We have the static. We have this. We have the main method line as public static void main string args. Following that we have function. We have function whose generic type is string and integer, and is referred by the name func f2c. Here we will passing a value of string, and we will getting the final output as integer value. Now coming further, we have the integer is to integer, then method reference operator in value of method reference value, and it is referring to the value of. This is telling that whatever the value of integer string that will pass here, it will be converting all those string to an integer value and giving the output as system.out.println func func which is reference name here, funcs to apply 1 to 3, 1 to 3. Whatever the value will be applied here, whatever the value will be applied, that will directly convert to the integer value. So we are applying 1 to 3 in a string, double quotes, in double quotes, that is a string integer value, and all those values will be directly converted to the integer value. This string will be directly converted to integer value. So we are getting the output as 1 to 3, which is integer value. So we are coming. So now moving on to next, we can use method reference to print elements of object. Element of object is the list of objects or something that we can pass. Suppose we are converting here a list as arrays to list. We are given a list apple, banana, and orange. So we are printing them as system.out in reference to the printer. Everything's in the list. Whatever lies in the list, whatever lies in this list, we are using for each for this for each loop. For this, we are using for each loop. For each loop means it will be stating that whatever the things that are in this list, it will be printed out as usual only. Whatever the system.out will print whatever the things that lies in the list with the next line. Yeah. Now to understand for each understand method, the method for each available for the list interface, and it makes a functional interface called consumer. It consumer whatever the things that will be presented here, that will be in the consumer list. Everything will be presented as an argument, and everything will be presented out similar to the. For moving here, we have the for each consumer which has generic types of anything, can be anything. Here t is to be string, so it is separated. So as that apple, banana, and orange all are in string format, so everything will be taken out and will be printed. Everything will be printed in the next line, as we have seen here. Now coming further, we have the string traditional lambda expression. We have the traditional lambda expression as list for each. That is telling that whatever the things will be in the string, that whatever the strings that s is containing a string value. So whatever the things will be in the string, whatever the things that will be here coming in the list, line by line everything will be printed out. Line by line everything will be printed out. This lambda makes each and everything very much easier in the list. Now replacing the lambda with method reference. Now how are we replacing this lambda expression with method references? Since the lambda expression not only calls the existing method, we can also use the method references. As here we can see that we are printing system.out in reference to that println. Everything will be printed. This will be printed. Everything will be printed out in the next line, one after the other in the next line, coming on to the other in the next line. System.out is a reference to a print system, and println is a method that we want to call. That println is a method. It is a print. It is used for system.out is used for printing message, and println is a method that we want to call. So if maybe matches if it matches consumer to string, so it matches consumer whose generic type is string, because println everything will printed out. Whatever lies in this string is, whatever the lies in that string is, everything will printed out. So we call method reference void replacement here. Now coming on to the code, we have to import this package here, packages. You have to import these packages, and we have the class name as method reference print, and following that main method line, we have the list. So arrays as to which we will be converting each and every data in this array. And for using a for each, we will be using this list for each data in this list. Everything will be printed out for each data in this list. Everything will be printed out. Everything will be printed out using system.out, and this system.out will be in reference to this println. Everything system.out is in reference to this println method. So everything will be printed out as it is in the list. For example, apple, banana, orange. Here is the output here comes here as apple, banana, and orange. Now aspect and value. For coming to the summary part, we will be following that. We have the consumer, we will be taking the string as an input, and coming here we have taken s. S is a string. So system.out.println, if you want to write this lambda expression in this lambda expression, this is a general expression. So if you will be writing in the lambda expression as system.out is to println, system.out is to println. This is in reference to this method. This is in reference to this method. So everything will printed out. Everything will printed out here from the list here. So print each string in the list. As I told you that it will be printed each and everything in the list as they are lying there in this list only. So we are at the end of the class. We will meet in the next class. Now, thanks.